Okay, hello ladies and gentlemen, this is my first podcast. Cannot believe I'm actually doing one, but I'm doing it. I'm deciding to call, because my name on YouTube's Elite Blood Wolf, I'm deciding to call it the BloodCast. The BloodCast Podcast. I think I should just call it the BloodCast. I think it just sounds better, not just BloodCast Podcast. So I'm gonna be talking about two subjects in this episode. One of them is what we're doing right now, is horror movies. People who know me personally know that I love horror movies. And I have to say that my favourite horror movie, and my family knows this, my favourite horror movie has to be Saw. Saw is just incredible. I love watching the movies. When I first watched it, I was a kid. I was obviously terrified because I weren't that much into horror movies, but because I'm grown up, I've watched it. I've seen horror movies in the past. I loved it. Absolutely incredible. My favourite horror movie of Saw is Saw 1. Because Saw 1 introduced us to Jigsaw, John Kramer, the cast of Saw. So we got to know how it all started. The traps they used, well, it was different. The first scene we saw two guys in the bathroom stuck with their legs chained to the poles or the wall. I'm not sure what it was. I forgot. It was a long time ago since I saw it. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what I can remember of the movie. Oh yeah, we saw a reverse bear trap on Amanda. If you don't know who Amanda is one of the cast from the Saw 1 movie that we did see in Saw 2 and 3, I believe. I think her last movie was Saw 3. And she got out of it. Then you saw the puppet, Billy. Some people call him the puppet Billy. Some people call him Jigsaw. I just call him Jigsaw because they're basically the same person, the same voice. And he said, "Congratulations, Amanda, you survived. Some people are so ungrateful to be alive, but not you, not anymore." Which I found confusing because she survived, and he said, "But not you, not anymore." So I was a bit confused by that scene because she did survive the trap. And then I can't remember what other traps they used. But I do remember the ending scene very well from that movie. Was incredible plot twist, amazing plot twist. We go back to the first scene. We saw a man that looks like he was dead. He got a gun in his hand, blood everywhere. He was unconscious in the middle of the room, while the two guys were at the opposite end of the room. I think it was a bathroom. I'm not sure. If it is a bathroom, it's probably the biggest bathroom I've ever seen. Yeah, then we go back to the end movie. One of them goes out to the room to try and get help, while he's got one leg because he cut the leg. He cut his foot that had the chain on so he can get out. So the other guy said, "You're not gonna leave me, are you? Try and get help." And the other guy said, I won't lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you." So he decided to get help, while the other guy was stuck in the chain because he wouldn't cut his leg off. And then he got a tape recorder, I forgot what the message was about. And then you just see the man that was supposed to be dead get back up. Yeah, he got back up. Looked like he was absolutely fine. Wasn't dead at all, not even unconscious. The guy that was in the room was so shocked. And the guy that was in the room that was supposed to be dead was Jigsaw, aka John Kramer. And he said the key to the chain is in the bathtub. But the thing is that I felt so sorry for the guy for is when he woke up, because he was in the bathtub, it was full of water. He accidentally plugged the plug hole in the bath, and the key went down the plug hole. So there was no chance of him escaping, getting out of that. And the thing is, Jigsaw had cancer. He was dying of it. So he said, "I'm sick of the people who don't appreciate their lives." So the guy that was stuck tried to get the gun and shoot him, but he just got zapped, electrocuted, I presume, by Jigsaw, because he was holding, like, I don't know if it was a remote control thing, I'm not sure why it was. So he got electrocuted by the guy, and then while he was nearly unconscious, the guy in the room, the one that was chained to the wall or the pole, Jigsaw was walking out the room, turned the lights off, and he said, some people are so ungrateful to be alive, but not you, not anymore. Got the door. The guy was screaming, saying, "No, don't, no, don't." And Jigsaw just said, "Game over," closes the door. And that's how they ended the movie. It was an incredible movie. Now, I heard people hate the Saw movies after Saw 3, I believe, which I do not get, because I've saw every Saw movie, and I enjoyed every one of them. I really enjoyed every one of them. Okay, so that brings me to my next horror movie, my second favourite, which is Halloween. I do like Halloween, believe me, it's an incredible movie as well. But the thing I don't like is, you know when Michael Myers is going to show up because you heard the theme song of Halloween. Now, what would have been better, in my opinion, is it would have been, like, there should have been a jump scare, like no theme song at all, which would have been more scarier and more better, in my opinion. But apart from that, they did a good job, and I can't wait to see Halloween Kills. It was supposed to be this October, well, this month, but they changed it to next year because of COVID-19. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say about Halloween. My third favourite, I'm just going to do my top 3. So number 1, Saw. Number 2 is Halloween. Number 3 has to be Scream. Possibly my first horror movie I seen was Scream. I think it was Scream 4, because it was on telly one night, and I decided to watch it because I was like, what the hell, I've got nothing else to do, nothing better to do. Because I think I went to my friend's house and he was watching it as well, so I was like, what the hell, might as well watch it with him. I got so scared because I was so young at the time. I think I was about, like, maybe 6 or 7, I think I was, maybe even younger. I think I was like 5, 6, 7, and I was watching Scream 4. And then when Ghostface came out, I think it was like a car park scene. I think it was a car park scene that I remember from Scream 4. I literally, as soon as Ghostface came out, I literally ran out the room. I was so scared, which was funny at the time, but which I think is funny because I've watched Halloween, Saw, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, what other horror movies? Can't really think of any horror movies at the moment. Oh, Friday the 13th, there we go. And I got scared to scream. Oh, Ghostface. Okay guys, that's the first subject done. We're going to go on a quick ad break. After the ad break, we will discuss subject number 2. I'll see you guys in a couple of minutes.
Still got a couple of box sets to go? Settle in for the night with 2 Co-op pizzas and a tub of Ben & Jerry's, all for just £5. It's what we do.
Freshly ground Arabica beans, organic milk, a white coffee, just 99p.
Unbelievable. We are veggies, we are healthy.
Yes, you know it's true. Eating in full colour
It's a healthy thing to do.
with garden peas from bird's eye. Every plate is happy,
Sweet and tender, plump and juicy.
we are always ready.
Bird's Eye, eat in full colour.
At WeBuyAnyCar.com, you could find out how much your car's worth in under 60 seconds. Enter your reg number now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Okay, welcome back to the podcast. Well, the BloodCast, I'm calling it now. The BloodCast, definitely not podcast, definitely BloodCast, I'm calling it. Okay, so before the break, I was mentioning my top 3 horror movies. I was discussing horror movies, how I liked them, how I got into them. So now my subject number 2, which is my last subject of the podcast, is going to be wrestling, of course. And if people are subscribed to me and watch my videos, they know how much I love wrestling. I do like pay-per-view reactions to it. So what I'm going to be discussing is a couple of my favourite wrestlers, couple of my favourite matches, and my first year in wrestling was 2012. So the WWE champion in 2012 that I watched was CM Punk, which I absolutely love. Possibly my favourite wrestler of all time. Yeah, he's definitely my favourite wrestler of all time. Now, because CM Punk is not in WWE anymore, my favourite wrestler that's in WWE is Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Takeover, Johnny Champion, Johnny whatever. Like what I love about Johnny Gargano is he just does not quit. That's what I love about him. When people saying he can't do stuff, he does it. He's gonna do it. Because when he had a rivalry with Adam Cole before TakeOver New York, he said, "I am fighting for the people who has been told no, told that you cannot do it." And even though Undisputed Era Undisputed Era got involved in the Adam Cole Gargano match at TakeOver New York, Johnny Gargano fought them all at once. Took out the 3 members of Undisputed Era. Adam Cole with a super kick to the face, super kick to the back of the head, and the last shot, Gargano still kicked out. I think it was like a 40-minute match at the time, going to 45 minutes. And then Adam Cole was saying, "This is my time, my time." Cole going for the last shot, Gargano moves out the way, Gargano escape, Cole taps out. Then Gargano won the NXT title, goes to the stage with his wife Candice LeRae. Ciampa comes out, who was the previous NXT champion that had to give it up because of injury. And after all they've been through, after all the hatred they shared together, Ciampa hugged Gargano. And Gargano, I think he said Gargano said, "This is for you. I'm gonna take care of the NXT title for you." I think that's what he said. And Ciampa just raised Gargano's hand and Candice LeRae's hand as well, which was a pretty emotional night because I love Ciampa and Gargano. I loved them when they were tag team champions as DIY. Possibly one of my favourite tag teams in NXT history. Now onto CM Punk. I mean, I love CM Punk. Nothing can change my mind about that. Even when he was a heel, I love CM Punk. Well, at the time when I first watched wrestling, I was young. I did not like CM Punk as a bad guy. I more liked him as a good guy. So when he was with Paul Heyman, I was like, "Oh, please, someone take the WWE title off him." And when The Rock beat him at the time, I loved it. But now I didn't, because The Rock didn't earn a WWE title match. Like, he didn't have a number 1 contenders match to earn the WWE title match. But he had an incredible reign. Defended it every pay-per-view. Actually, no, he didn't defend it in TLC 2012 because he got injured by Ryback. Got powerbombed through a table, hit with a ladder, hit with a steel chair. Because that was the match they were supposed to have at TLC, was the tables, ladders and chairs match. Because Punk was injured, Ryback was with Team Hell No to face the Shield in their first match. In the Shield's debut match at TLC 2012. So yeah, CM Punk was, well, as he says, the best in the world. I believe that. He earned the right to call himself that. Every title defense, every match he done was incredible. I believe that. 2011 was the beginning of me liking CM Punk. Because I didn't watch wrestling at the time, but I went back to it to see what he was like, and he was incredible. Just like 2012, he was incredible. The pipe bomb really got him going. The pipe bomb was great. His rivalry with John Cena, possibly one of the greatest rivalries of all time. His matches at Money in the Bank and SummerSlam against John Cena was amazing. But it's a shame Kevin Nash attacked CM Punk at SummerSlam 2012. And then Alberto Del Rio cashing in Money in the Bank to beat CM Punk for the WWE title. But at Survivor Series, CM Punk got his revenge against Alberto Del Rio when he made him tap out to win the WWE title. That was day 1 of 434 days. Now, if it was up to me, I would have had CM Punk beat The Rock at Royal Rumble and have John Cena beat CM Punk at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. I think that would have been a good decision to do, in my opinion. But I get people wanted to see The Rock face John Cena one more time, because at WrestleMania 28, which was my first WrestleMania actually, WrestleMania 28's main event was The Rock face John Cena, just a normal match, no titles on the line. John Cena was going to do the people's elbow, mocking The Rock. Then The Rock got back up, hit a rock bottom, 1, 2, 3, and gets the job done. And that caused John Cena to have a big meltdown in WWE. He has admitted, possibly one of the worst years of his life. But 2013 was a better year for him. He won the WWE title he won the Royal Rumble in 2013, won the title at WrestleMania, and won the World Heavyweight title at Hell in a Cell, I believe, against Alberto Del Rio. So yeah, 2012 was a great year. Talking about NXT. Now, my favourite takeover of all time in NXT has to be TakeOver New York. Yeah, TakeOver New York was possibly my favourite takeover of all time. You saw matches like, as I said before, Johnny Gargano, Adam Cole was a 2 out of 3 falls match for the vacant NXT title. Absolutely incredible match. The fans were so hyped for it, because even before the match we believed it was going to be incredible. But incredible was just an understatement. It was phenomenal. Sorry for AJ Styles taking your catchphrase, but it was phenomenal. We saw matches like Walter vs Pete Dunne. Again, incredible match. We saw Walter breaking Pete Dunne's title reign. I'm not quite sure how long he had the title reign, I forgot. I think it was 600 something days. And Walter beat Pete Dunne. For some reason I thought Pete Dunne was going to retain the title and have Walter beat him at a UK takeover, NXT UK takeover. But no, Walter did win at New York. Then we saw Matt Riddle vs Velveteen Dream for the NXT North American Championship, which me and my friend thought Matt Riddle was going to win the North American Championship. But when Velveteen Dream got the pin over Matt Riddle, I was very shocked, and so was my friend. My friend was very shocked as well. Oh, Jesus Christ. What are the matches? Oh yeah, there were War Raiders versus Ricochet and Aleister Black for the NXT Tag Team titles. Now, I knew Ricochet and Aleister Black weren't going to win, was not going to win the titles, because they were going to Raw and SmackDown, because they were fighting for I believe the SmackDown Tag Team titles at WrestleMania, because I think it was the Usos defending their titles against Rusev and Nakamura, Sheamus and Cesaro, and Ricochet and Aleister Black. So yeah, I knew the War Raiders were going to win, but they did bring the fight to War Raiders. I must admit that they did come close to winning the tag titles, but they did not. War Raiders did retain the tag titles. But let's go to the present, let's go to the future. WWE. Hell in a Cell next Sunday. Well, a week from today, as I'm recording this podcast. A week from today, October 25th. And I'm not sure if the main event's going to be the Universal title match or WWE title match, or possibly the women's title match. So the women's title match, the SmackDown women's title match inside Hell in a Cell, is going to be Bayley versus Sasha Banks. I do believe Sasha Banks is going to win that match, because I think it's time for Bayley to lose the title after, well, nearly a year of winning the tag titles. I mean, not the tag titles, the women's title. Don't know where I got the tag titles from. It's because I was discussing NXT. Yeah, I do believe Sasha Banks is going to win. I think she needs the win right now, after Bayley turned her back on her. So I do believe Sasha needs this win to rub it in Bayley's face that I've got the title, not you anymore. That I'm a better wrestler than you. I was always better than you. I think that's what she's trying to prove to her. The second Hell in a Cell match is Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton for the WWE title. Again, same with Sasha Banks. Randy Orton needs this win, because Drew McIntyre's beaten Randy Orton twice. One at SummerSlam, one at Clash of Champions. Yeah, the SummerSlam match was a normal match. Clash of Champions was an ambulance match. Well, the only reason Drew won is because, I know it's no disqualification, but all the legends came back, which I did like. It was nice to see them. We saw Big Show, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, Christian. Yeah, I think that was it. That was all the 4 legends that showed up. It would have been good if we saw Edge, so we can continue that rivalry between Randy and Edge. But no, we got his best friend Christian instead. Yeah, as I was saying, Randy Orton needs this match. Randy Orton needs this win against Drew McIntyre, and I do believe Randy Orton will win the WWE title at Hell in a Cell. Now, the next Hell in a Cell match is Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso, but it's not going to be any normal Hell in a Cell match. It's going to be a Hell in a Cell I Quit match, which we have never seen before and probably never will again. So if you don't know the rules of an I Quit match, it's basically the referee got a microphone in his hand through all the matches. No pinfalls, no well, would you say? No, I wouldn't say no submissions. You have to get your opponent to say the words "I quit" inside Hell in a Cell, and there's weapons allowed and everything. Weapons allowed, like, so none of them can escape because there's a cell. And I do believe Roman Reigns is going to retain the Universal title. Yeah, I think Roman's going to retain the Universal title. I can't see Jey Uso making Roman Reigns say "I quit." I don't think it's going to happen. So yeah, guys, that was my first podcast. I'm sorry it was a bit short. I think I'm just going to do like short podcast now, because I can't really talk that much, because I've seen people do like hours of podcasts. I could not do an hour podcast, so I'm going to do like a mini podcast. I just hope you guys enjoy this podcast, and I'm going to do more. I think I might just call this episode the beginning of the BloodCast. Okay guys, thank you guys for watching the podcast.